Hello, and thank you for joining us for session number 21 of the Unsung Tales, a one-ring actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can visit happyjacks.org/unsungtales, leave out the, and to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks RPG Network, you can visit happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi, I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Loremaster for this epic adventure, and it has been so amazing. A little bit of a heads up, we do use safety tools for this game. You don't see it, but we do have X cards on the table. We've filled out lines of veils. This is also a very chill game, so there's not a lot of things. It's very wholesome and comforting. So, all right. Yeah, let's go around the table, and let's start with Hannar, since he wasn't here last week.
I was a Post-it note, but I got better. So, hi, everybody. I'm Kadave. Both Hannar, my character, Dwarf of Durin's folk. We're both he, him. Super excited to get back. Yeah. I had a vacation week, and now I'm back, and I'm like, I want to do things. I want to know more things.
So many feels.
There's more.
There's more. We always have more feels here at this table. All the feels.
All right, I'm Michelle, and I am playing Lyriel of Rivendell, and we are both she, her. And oh my gosh, last week was just so amazing. We had the best time. Not
to
very
rub it in,
moving.
Dave, but
Sorry, Dave.
I know.
Sorry. It was very
You saved the
moving.
best episode for when I'm out. It's cool.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what we do tonight.
Hi guys, I'm Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns, and I am playing Aerlind of Mithlond, who uses he, they pronouns, and he's full of feelings. Spoilers.
So many feelings this episode. So many.
It fits so many feelings in this elf.
Especially with all those new muscles.
Yeah.
So much more room for feelings.
That's what the muscles are for. It's to carry books and all of my
And all of the
feelings.
feelings.
You have to strengthen the container when you put more feelings in. Otherwise, it doesn't break.
Exactly.
That works.
Yep. Hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I play Runa of Bree, your friendly neighborhood treasure hunter. We both use she, her pronouns. And I'm so excited about my fancy scabbard that I got last week.
Yes. I just realized we didn't adjust the mics, but that's okay.
Uh-oh.
We did a test. It'll be fine.
Okay.
So last week we had a very full episode. Hannar was actually summoned. His ward that is staying with Sausage in the Shire was not well, so he quickly dashed down there, and with that message also came a message from Calameldon saying that was the sleeper that we rescued prior to our Yule sabbatical vacation period. Our Yule fellowship phase is what it's actually called in the game, which takes up a full season. So the characters actually had a few months where they were apart from each other. And prior to that, they had rescued or had found an elf that had been in a magical sleep for thousands of years with an amazing, very emotional backstory. Go and listen to that. And he was rescued because they had found him. So he had made his way once he was awakened and his wounds were treated, and he'd gone to Lothlorien, and he had crafted some items that were gifts for them. So he sent a letter to them requesting, saying, I'm finally ready to sail. I'm ready to go to Valinor. I would love to meet you face to face to thank you for saving me, if you were willing to meet me in Mithlond. So the three of the players were able to do that. The one who wasn't rushing off, as a good parent should. They met Calameldon. They had some wonderful, touching moments speaking with him, spending time with each other also in Mithlond. And before he departed, he gave them gifts. So we had a beautiful scabbard for Runa. We had a beautiful set of bracers. And we had a...
Conch horn.
Oh, yes, the horn. A conch that was going to help Aerlind in his future endeavors. Yes. And also another box, they're beautifully carved wooden boxes, was given to them to pass on to Hannar when they saw him next. And that episode ended with him, or with Calameldon, taking his journey to the west in hopes of someday meeting his love and having Celebrimbor reborn from the house of Mendos, because he had passed away. And as is the fate of elves, they either go straight to the island or they sit and wait and then eventually get back on the island. One thing also that Celebrimbor did before leaving, which we're not going to get to this very moment, but they offered to carry a letter for Aerlind, because Aerlind has an elf that he loves very dearly, who took a sail to the west prior to Aerlind doing so. And Aerlind had never declared his love for this other elf. So Celebrimbor, finding and knowing this about Aerlind, offered to take a letter. Now, the interesting thing about the letter, just a little bit of Tolkien lore, no letter can be returned. So when Aerlind sends this letter west, it may be thousands of years before he also sails west and finds out how it was received. So it's very emotional and exciting and a little stressful. So many feelings. Yes. So we're actually going to start with Hannar.
That is the extreme version of the letter in a locker.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Circle yes. Oh!
Wait for an entire war at the end of the Age of Elves. What is your answer?
Yes, exactly. So Hannar, we're going to kind of jot through a little bit quickly. You went down. Your ward, it turns out, did you ever come up with a name for your ward?
I didn't,
Okay.
actually. I
Okay.
meant to,
You
but
need to
I
do
did
that.
not.
Okay,
I
well-
will.
For this moment, we're just going to kind of skim through it quickly because we have a lot of things to do.
For now, I could use Bert.
Yes, no, let's pick a. We'll wait and we'll pick a name.
It will stick if you do it.
Yeah, if you,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
will be a permanent thing. So you go down. This mysterious illness that your ward has came on very suddenly. It's like a stomach ailment, and after being there for like about a day, the next day you realize your ward has gotten worse. Like their stomach is, but then you notice that they have obviously been out of bed in the night, and you start getting suspicious, as any knowing
Sure,
parent does. And it is discovered that he had discovered where you kept your rock candy and was just eating candy to
All the
excess,
time.
like a poor Hobbit child would if he knew where the
Yeah.
special hidden rock candy of his dwarven parent
I
was.
found out. I found out the limit to a Hobbit stomach.
Yes.
No one thought it was possible.
No. I mean, it is still a very young, small Hobbit stomach, so it's
Oh,
in training
I see, I
still. So this thing that it was thought it was very serious, obviously within a day or so is fine. There's a serious talking to about getting into things that you shouldn't,
Sure.
lying and keeping secrets and such things. And it turns out he's fine. So you start making your way back north after a few days, and eventually
I think I let Sausage be the keeper of the rock candy. Like, there's like a keg of it somewhere in his cellar
yeah.
that's sealed and looks like all the other kegs, and
Oh.
only Sausage knows. So he goes down when the kids are out and gets out some more.
Right.
Keeps
He's a
the tiny dish,
Yeah. So, crisis, not really crisis. And you're heading up. Would you, now you left before you opened the letter? Or
Yeah, I think he just
yeah,
darted.
you just went? Because
Yeah, I probably
they thought it
was
was very
like,
serious.
oh, I need to.
And it came on very suddenly because he discovered the candy like in the middle of the afternoon and was like, oh, and then suddenly like, hey, you're fine 5 minutes ago and now you're really sick. And so, yeah, I guess you're probably going to head back up to Creek's Crossing and the ruins
Yeah.
to meet them. Okay.
Most likely, I'd assume everybody's still around there.
Okay. So we'll do that. And after Celebrimbor sails, is there anything any of you would like to do while you're still in Mithlond?
I think Aerlind just makes a point, given past events, to give Círdan a proper farewell.
Yes. Good call.
And, recover all of his furniture and all of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do that, and everything is like properly put away in your home because you'll be back. And we had a very touching scene where we went through Aerlind's home, and it had like
I got that far.
Oh, you did? Okay. It had been like adjusted, so it was a very welcoming place again. And so you put like drapes on all the furniture and things like that in a way that's like it's still ready to be brought back to.
And when you can join, there are now hooks on the patio that overlooks the sea.
Yes.
So you don't have to tie things
Yeah.
to my home anymore.
Yeah. Lovely.
Also, this game has 100% made me think about elves have to spend like a significant portion of their mental energy just thinking about maintenance.
Yeah.
Like, I will last longer than everything.
All of these objects in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a human is like, okay, cool, I bought a house. It's gonna be here. It's fine. Oh no, my house will just erode if I don't actively, like before I'm done with it.
Some of the ruins that we've explored are only a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's part of the excitement of living forever and dealing with all that. Also, the very complicated family trees. Very complicated. All right. Anyone else? Something? No? Okay. You're heading back up to Creek's Crossing as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get back up there. We're not going to do a journey phase.
Thank you.
Okay. You look concerned for a moment.
No.
Okay.
I just don't want to get us lost.
No.
It went well last time.
And now I have more travel. Thank you.
That'll be great. Yeah, so you make it back up to the ruins. We'll say that Hannar got there first because you got a much shorter trip. They stayed for a few days. Yeah.
Sure.
So you're there first. So you probably have a fire going. The ruins are like in their like home mode, cozy as they can be. And the three of you arrive back. So why don't we do a scene where you come back in, you do some greeting and explaining of what happened.
You're first.
Yeah. Probably loudly clatters in. Hannar, we're back.
Nah, I have brought. Well, that seems ill-timed. I brought supplies from the Shire.
Oh, awesome. Good. We were getting low on some of the like potatoes and good stuff from the Shire. How did it go? How's your ward?
He's fine. I underestimated the persistence of hobbits in finding things that they wanted to eat. So he consumed half of the rock candy I had left behind.
Half.
Yes, in a very short span, which resulted in him making just multicolored messes.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very brightly colored candy.
That sounds alarming, but I'm glad he's
I
well.
understand why I was summoned, but everything's fine now, yes. And Sausage is now in charge of keeping all of the candy under a watchful eye.
That seems wise.
Yes. And maybe a bit overkill. He is a sheriff.
Well, technically he's retired.
Yes,
From sheriffing.
but dogged still.
Well, indeed. But you've seen the persistence of hobbits.
It's true. If it wasn't in candy jail, they would probably still find a way to get it.
I have no doubt that he is actively trying to figure out how to make it right now. Which will be interesting. I can't wait to taste some when I return at some point.
Are you sure?
Well, I've got a sturdy stomach.
Children. What a puzzle.
It does sound challenging.
But about you were not here when I returned.
Oh, we received a letter from Callum Meldon.
Oh, so he's all right.
He's more than all right. He has sailed,
Oh, I see.
and we went to see him off.
That seems very speedy for a course of action for an elf.
Well, he has no one here from his time.
Hmm.
And the love that built that remarkable
Indeed,
Nice.
indeed.
hopefully waits for him there. Oh, we come bearing gifts.
Oh,
I think Runa's probably carrying it.
Yeah.
This one's for you.
oh, I see.
So it's a stunningly carved, like box of like a deep red wood. It's like, I'll say it's like 9 inches by 9 inches, like square. And yeah, very clearly carved with like great love and dedication, and like things about dwarves, and like it's kind of like specifically for you, very clearly, like made for you. And it is handed to you.
Oh, what a delightful box.
The box is not the gift.
Well, I think I partially differ.
I
It may
agree.
have something else inside.
My
but-
box is quite remarkable, but what is inside is an unparalleled gift.
My watch decided to tell me what was in the box. Excuse me.
She opened it without you.
I think I probably would be like, well, what's in the box? Did you
No, we didn't look.
On our honor.
really?
Of course not.
I would have peeked.
Of course you would have.
Look, it doesn't have a lock on it. It's
It's not always a good idea, I've learned, to open things just because they don't have a lock on them.
Or touch things that don't belong to you.
well, I wasn't saying that I suspected one of you stole something. I'm just saying, like, at least. Well, now I have to look. And
You open it, and inside there's beautiful like red velvet, and sitting on top of it is a torque, which is like those necklaces that are like solid pieces, kind of like the Romans, like our
Sure.
kind of first. Yeah, there you go, perfect. Like a solid piece of jewelry that is worn around like the wrist or the neck, and it's got some it's a twist of silver and gold together that come around, and they come and they have opals on each end, so that are kind of shining and glistening, and it's just like incredibly delicate, beautiful work. And it is called Calimenas, which means
like CEL?
CAL, yeah, which is like creating light, is what that means. And it gives you blessings to crafting and song.
Ah. So like advantage? Like a
It's a
The blessing, the mechanic blessing.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and it is like a gift worthy of being passed down, not just as a family heirloom, but like an heirloom of the dwarven people. Like it is on a level of like there are no longer crafts people in Middle Earth who can do what Calameldon was able to do.
the only thing finer in all of Middle Earth is probably the rings.
Yeah, so it's a big deal.
Yes. Well, I would. You know what? I think it's probably a neck piece.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to wear anything that nice out where
No.
No.
arms swing and hit things.
That's fair.
So yeah, it's probably a nestle it on so that I can hide it under the beard, the opals under the beard, but then I can also like twist it a little bit or like put the beard under it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Braided.
Braid your beard a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
tighter to show off your two big opals.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is. It is. What?
Oh, and I go get my box and I show them, and I show you these bracers that I got, and they're silver and they're etched, right, and they have gold. They're just really exquisitely crafted, of course, and they give me blessings on awareness and stealth.
Ooh, fantastic.
You would be forgiven for not thinking that what Aerlind was wearing wasn't just something that he picked up when you first look at it, because it's a shell. It's a very large seashell. But the moment that you look at it in any light, so the fire flickering or anything like that would catch, it has been embellished with fine metals and carvings. And at the very end of it, you see the motif of the birds again.
Cool.
And he just picks it up and blows in it, and it is you can feel the vitality of the sound, and it sounds like a clear horn, not of victory, but of like jubilee and hope. Gives me advantage on travel and athletics,
Oh, cool.
or a blessing on.
Good blessing.
Runa very dramatically turns so you can see her greatsword, which is now sheathed in a scabbard that's made of crystal and has gold fittings at the end.
Nothing much.
Yeah, very subtle.
Just a magical girl scabbard.
Yeah. And it gives me blessings to athletics and battle.
Okay. Well, it's good to have friends in high places, I suppose.
Much further places now, but yes.
Well, and you have yet another friend when you arrive someday.
Yes, and he has taken word for me from these shores to those.
Oh.
Yes.
So we're gonna kind of fade to black and just chit chatting in the evening. I would like to have a little bit of a moment where we kind of are in Aerlind's brain moment or whatever as it or where we kind of think back and hear the letter that he ended up writing.
Ooh.
If you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think as the evening kind of progresses, and he gets resettled back in Anuminus, or not Anuminus.
Mm-mm.
No,
The ruins.
Our ruins.
Anuniel.
Anuniel. The
Yes.
other A.
Yes, there's a lot of
There's a lot of A sounds.
Yeah.
And goes up to a spot in the tower that he has sat as a quote-unquote lookout before, but really it's just a beautiful view.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks towards the bay. And just as the sun is really coming down over Eriador, and you can just see the white spots of the birds, he thinks of the sails pulling further and further into the stars. And wonders what his letter is doing. We kind of look back at the picnic, and he had this bundle that was neatly tied, wrapped in very delicate fabric. And at the very top sits a note. My dearest Marin, it has been overlong since our last farewell. I have since grown beyond our daily routine in Mithlond. I have wondered and dreamt of what I would tell you should I ever have the chance to explain to you how things have changed for me in Middle-earth. Now, I send these with the fairest messenger the realms possess. Our esteemed purpose diminished for me in your absence, Marin. I do not begrudge you heeding the call, but without you, the crafting of ships was tedious, and in me stirred a desire to see these incredible shores. Thus, I left. He then goes on at a little bit of length to describe the contents of the two journals that he included. One is the meeting of our fellowship, and the other contains the events since the journey to Anonymous. There are 3 important notes I must include with these tomes. First, Sausage Brandy-bottom's name ought not to be spoken. For all of his daring and bravery, he does not want ever to draw the eye of shadow to the fair Shire, and I must respect and honor his wishes. Second, there is peril in these pages, secrets that must be held close, even in the fairest lands of Valinor. A great shadow is rising once more here, and I do not wish to dim the great light of the Undying Lands with sorrow. But I hope you see why I've made the promises I intend to keep that hold us apart. Third, and the true purpose of all my extenuation, I wish to put to paper the words I did not say clearly enough. I love you, Merrin. I have loved you since my hands near the auger and the nog. I have loved you fonder than any bud longs for dawning. I love you dearest in all the lands of Ambar or Valinor or the seas between. And I will see you again, my love. But not yet. I will look to the west with hope that when the last ship sails across that vast divide, I'll be able to tell you from my own lips. Until then, know that I'm yours. Sincerely yours alone, Aerlind.
That's very good. Okay. I'm not gonna cry. Yeah, so we have kind of a like pulling back all of you in your place, like spending time together. And yeah, the evening concludes.
Just an out of character question.
Mhm.
Did you share the intent of your message or that you were sending a message at all?
No.
Anyone? Okay.
I will say it's probably not hard to figure out that it's a message to Merrin. I mean, he's spoken
Sure.
of him quite a bit.
I mean, we heard Calameldon make the offer to you, I think.
Yeah.
And then you
And
showed up
we
with a
saw the
bundle,
bundle,
so
yeah.
I think
We made the
we
connection.
probably
Yeah,
figured it out.
you're all very smart, and it's a there's no secrets. It's more just a like, haha, I did this thing. Oh no.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about it.
Yeah,
talk
I
about
can't
it.
talk about it. I might have a meltdown about it.
I wanted to know if you had made it public what your intent was. That's all.
I don't think that he's expressly stated that he was professing love across the sea. No.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna have a nice, pleasant evening, and we do have. Are you taking watches?
At the ruins?
Yeah, I'm not just checking.
Now
I
I'm nervous.
know.
But no.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I don't
Yeah.
think
I mean, I would if we were still carrying something that I was afraid was a tool for immense evil, but feeling pretty happy.
Okay.
Like, just to double check, nothing horrible happened to the town while we were away, right?
No.
Great. Cool. I'm sleeping.
Yeah. I feel like Runa probably stays up a little bit later than everybody 'cause she's not a morning person, but she's not like specifically like taking a watch.
Okay.
But also, like, I don't know that we ever took down some of the traps that we built or any of that stuff.
It's true, but it has been like months and months.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna have you roll.
Oh!
Let's see how good your traps held up.
Oh, no.
You rolled crafting, right, for making the trap, or no, hunting.
Yep.
I think
Roll-
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll hunting to see how well your traps held up for all these years.
Okay.
Or not these years, for all these months. It has been months.
One fear.
Does anybody mind if I use a hope for this?
Please.
Okay.
I would be happy for you to do that.
And we will replenish you gladly.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Thanks, dice. I got a Gandalf rune.
At first, that sounded
Yeah.
like something had gone horribly wrong. Oh, no.
I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I succeed with the Gandalf rune.
Okay. Partway through the night, we'll say that you put some in the trees. We'll say, is that all right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you were looking for a flying thing, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably through the night, like all of you are probably asleep by this time. It's not like normal, even if you're a night person, like hours. It's probably like 2:30, 3 in the morning. You hear this like crashing noise, but it sounds like something that's like been slammed very hard together, kind of similar to like what a wooden door sounds like, but like epic scale. So like if you could slam like very large barn doors, they're too big, usually can't really slam them. Like you think of like when you slam a door in anger, but it's sort of like that resounding, like cracking sound of like wood hitting itself. And there's like this like screech that sounds just like some sort of very large animal, like has been impaled, because it has. Yeah. And then I want you to roll lore for me.
Oh no. Okay.
And you would roll, Lyra, you'd also roll this, because you might possibly know this.
I get
Just roll,
one of these, and
and then however many pips you have in lore, you'll roll that many d6s.
All right. Succeed with a Tangwar.
Oh, very good.
Nice.
You're rolling, against the TN of a skill above that. So,
yes, I made my TN.
Okay.
15. I have
Really just
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, you add everything.
okay. Both of you, you're not versed in it, but you think you hear what is like some cursing in the black speech,
Mm-hmm.
and like basically the evil language of Mordor that generally isn't spoken or acknowledged or thought to exist anymore.
No one would speak that.
I've got my weapon in my hand.
Yeah,
We're not
like as
ready.
soon as I hear that, just like sword out towards the noise.
Okay.
and Aerlind is very clear. This is a creature of darkness.
Does it have the same dramatic black speech effect as we witnessed in the films?
That's specific black speech.
Yeah.
Ah,
So it's
I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
like just speaking it in other places was a whole thing.
no, and
Okay.
specific like characters speaking it has more power than others.
Sure.
But this
That's all.
one creature being pissed that it got impaled is probably not going to cast a spell.
Magical swearing.
Magical spell. Oh, that'd be so.
Would not be the most unusual thing in this universe. Like,
Or
Talking
even in
otters.
this game.
No.
I mean, they are called curse words.
Right.
Yes, this is true. Okay.
Yeah, bow in hand.
Yeah. Go out there. You would remember where you had the traps.
Yeah.
So there were a couple that you'd put like high up in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of hidden them to look like branches that were just broken when they were really like under pressure and then like would snap. So it had spikes on it. Is it at least what I'm imagining in my head?
Oh yeah, I think we did specifically roll. Oh, that's why my dice did good on the roll, because
They
I was
did
rolling
great.
to impale things.
Yes.
Oh my
You did really great impaling.
and climbing.
And you did great on both those rolls. And that's also why there's a chance that they like lasted this long, despite like the rope being out in the weather and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go. You all kind of rush out there, and I'm going to skip a scan roll because you're not going to see anything at this particular moment. You're Runa, you're pointing out like it's up there. That's where I put it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can it's pretty high, but your torchlight does get somewhat close to it.
Okay.
You can see that there's not anything in the trap at this moment. At least anything big enough to like
Made that noise.
probably. You do see that there is a large amount of blood running down the trunk of the tree, and there are still pieces impaled. So it looks like whatever it was like
Good job, Trap.
pulled itself free to probably great amount of damage to itself.
Well, there should be a blood trail to follow.
Yes, yes, there is.
Let's do that.
Excellent.
Gonna take up the rear. I'm gonna have you be here.
Okay.
Can I use scan for that?
Yes, that is in fact what all of you should roll right now.
Okay.
please.
What's the ambient level of light out here? Like, is it a new moon where it's very, very dark, or?
We'll say it's like, yeah, it's not new moon, but there's a crescent, so there's a bit of it. It is hard to see through the trees.
Okay.
So not a lot of light makes it past the main canopy.
Instead of making a scan roll, can I assist, like, give everybody else a bonus by turning up my torch?
So how is your?
Because I have, like, the dwarven resin
Magical
torch.
Okay, that's true. Okay, I'm like, there's not like settings on it, but I guess
But
there
yeah,
for that
like,
one there might
it
be.
would totally be like in my head, it's sort of like a hurricane lamp. Like, you can roll out
Oh,
more
okay.
Yeah.
wick and get a bigger flame.
Sure, that makes sense. Okay.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah. Why don't we see how well you do with that then?
Okay.
Why don't we have you roll? No, I guess it's a magical item, huh? All right. Yeah.
I mean, it is, but I'd be happy to roll something.
No, it's fine. I guess that seems silly to have you roll to see. Can you turn the knob on your
Well,
torch? and make it
it'd
brighter?
be a roll just to see how effective it is. Like,
Why don't we'll give each of you an extra die to your scan roll?
That might change
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
right, that's
yeah, and that way
So
it's
I
still up
don't
to
have-
them, but it'll
If
give
I
them
don't have
benefit.
any pips in scan, I still roll.
the D12,
D12,
and now
and now-
1d6.
But now you have one pip for his
Yeah.
Now I have a chance of.
I mean, you have a chance anyway, but
It did it.
yeah.
It gave me a tanguar.
I hit my exact TN.
Nice.
No.
Oh,
All right. So both of you make it.
Succeed with a tanguar.
Okay.
I just
Yeah. So you can see it takes a moment, but you realize why it took a minute. It like goes to the end of the branch where it was, and then it must have like leapt or flown, and then like landed on a tree nearby. So it took you a moment because you actually had to track which direction it went, and then you can see on the ground, like traveling that fast, even bleeding profusely doesn't drop like that much blood on the ground.
Yeah.
So there's like a very few number of drops, and then you catch it back on another tree, and then you're able to kind of track it.
how
that
far
way.
away is it?
You don't see it yet. You're still tracking it.
Okay, so we saw where it leapt to.
Yes,
we
you-
cannot actually see it.
Yeah, you were actively tracking it, and I'm not going to make you keep rolling for it, but you were able to follow it.
Okay.
But you do not actually see it yet.
Okay, I do have an arrow
Okay.
knocked.
And ready.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have you roll awareness now.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Right.
Yeah, don't forget your blessings too.
How does blessings?
Yeah.
You
work?
added die.
You added
Add
that.
a die.
I succeeded with a tanguar.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Hannar.
Something real bad.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Because I only have a D12 in
Yeah.
awareness, and I got an eyeball.
Okay.
Oh,
well, that's
no.
not. That's not.
Still, that's
Yeah.
rough.
It's a 1, but yeah. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, like, if you don't... I thought that was extra bad, if you don't have anything else.
I mean, it definitely flavors it, but it's
Yeah.
not a failure.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it is a failure, but
Yeah.
getting the eye is not an automatic failure. But yeah.
Not immediate shadow
right, right.
points.
Right, yeah.
But
I passed mine.
Woo!
we're gonna say so. You got past it.
Succeeded. Also, something really weird is happening because so I've rolled 3 times. The first time I rolled 3 3s. The second time I rolled 3 4s, and now I just rolled 3 5s.
Keep going. Keep going.
Your magic crystal scabbard, obviously.
Keep going.
The fractals in the crystal are like,
Just don't roll any more this game. After this, we're going to jump in my car and get to Morongo.
But yes, I just succeeded.
okay, great. So you just succeeded. You had exceptional success.
Yeah.
Um.
I made it to 20.
Okay.
And I got a tanguar in there.
Okay. So
You all saw the thing attack me.
Right.
you are there for a moment, and Aerlind, for whatever reason, you just feel that it's looking at you. like you just have a sense of this darkness, this antithesis of what you and your people and you as a person stand for. And you just know it's nearby, and you get the sense, like, because you're listening so carefully and you're not hearing it as like fleeing in any way. So you suddenly realize that it's there, and its goal is not to get away.
Aerlind stands up rail straight.
Okay.
And
We're gonna say in the same moment,
yeah.
like as you realize this and you take this action. So I'm gonna have you finish describing it in just a second.
Yeah.
There is this whoosh. Like, think the three of you hear it, but Aerlind, it was like you were expecting it. So I'm going to give you like first action on it. And Hannar, where you're standing, like it's this large black, which we've all seen before, kind of the man bat thing, goes swooping down, and it is headed right for Hannar, who is facing the other direction.
Well, and I made myself a target by like lighting up a massively bright torch to
Yes.
be like, hey, everybody.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So now we are going to roll, and I think we need to update our the
Combat screen.
yes. I have no words to it. I'm sorry.
You're doing really good.
I also had a tangle. I didn't know what one was. I
Oh,
just
yeah,
had
that's
to
great.
update,
No
so-
problem. Okay, great. So you also have like that little bit of sense, like right before you're like, it's so, because you are like very proficient in combat. You've been fighting things of the dark for many, many, many generations, human generations, not elf generations. So as you are kind of like looking around trying to trace this blood trail, you also realize like there are no sounds, and it's that moment of realizing that you are not the predator, you are the prey. And you're like, oh, if it was running away from us, we would probably hear some type of scurrying sound or something. It is still here waiting for us. And let's pick our stances.
There.
Excellent. So rearward
We're-
stance means you're going to be doing ranged attacks. Forward stance, open stance, defensive stance are actually just all in the same place. It doesn't mean you're farther away or anything. It just means forward stance, you're being very aggressive, offensive. Open stance, you're kind of middle of the road. Defensive, you're protecting yourself above all else. Yeah, and then rearward stance is like far away, shooting from far away.
And they each have special abilities that you can take.
Yeah, but we'll have you do that after. We haven't had a combat in like a hot minute. So.
I know.
Yeah.
And I trained. I had a whole training montage.
You did.
This guy's been stalking us for a while,
I know.
too.
It's time.
Yeah.
If it's the same one. Oh, I can't believe I said it. Oh, I don't like that.
All right.
On the plus side, if it is the same one, it kept following us instead of where we deposited them.
Yeah.
So
we didn't leave it in
True.
Rivendell.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Lord Elrond.
Yes. But that also means that it's not necessarily after the Palantir.
Oh, Kimi.
Unless it doesn't know that we don't have it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my hope. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't take
Sorry.
that away
Welcome
from me.
to the horrible thing that's been stalking us.
It's like smallish man-sized bat creature
Yeah.
that I don't remember the
And
name.
I say, you know,
I think only smallish because it was
Yes.
crouched when I saw
yeah, they're
it.
tall.
It's very big.
Oh.
I mean, not very big. It is, and those of you who can see it now, can see it is probably around like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
completely. Yeah.
that's way bigger than I thought.
Yeah, no. It was like crouched, but it's a little bit like larger than man size. Yes. And so we're going to have the three of you who succeeded in your awareness attacks. You're going to be able to be part of the opening volley. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you have a ranged attack, that is.
I'm ready.
Okay, why don't you go first?
Aha! I succeeded.
Huzzah!
with my bow. That is unless it has some shielding that I should be concerned about. I very much so succeeded.
Okay. Fantastic. And what's the damage of your bow? Sorry.
It is
Yeah.
a 4.
Oh, okay.
Works just like you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Strength. No.
Very good.
And I think the moment that he kind of anticipates it going, it's like someone who's very well trained in hunting live animals. You kind of lead it, and he kind of starts to move before it even like jumps towards the light. And so the shot is loosed on it before it even fully gets to Hannar.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see if it stops it.
Yeah. It is also very fast. So how much did you succeed by?
Oh, math again.
Sorry.
Good old math. No, you're doing so good. By 2.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, it has a parry of 3.
Yeah. That's why I was like, unless it's got something spicy, I made it.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty spicy.
yeah, I figured.
Yeah, it's not tough, but it's very fast and very agile.
Absolutely.
So it does the thing where it's like the perfect shot. It's flying, and then you see it kind of twist in the air and like avoid your arrow.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah. Did you have a ranged attack, Lyriel?
I did not grab my bow. I just grabbed my sword.
Oh, okay. But do you have your bow with you? Oh, you left it in the
Yeah,
in the ruin.
because we,
Oh,
Yeah.
we just jumped up.
Okay.
And
Fight time.
Yeah.
that's very honest of you. Thank you. And Runa.
I don't have a ranged weapon, but can we do the secondary action?
Sure.
I can try it and intimidate the foe
Okay.
with an awe test.
You can give that a try too if you want, Lyria. After you.
So, quick question. My attacks are favored against creatures that are might 2 or above. Does that include this one?
It does.
Yay!
I forgot about that part. Okay.
Woo.
I'm happy for you, and I'm sad for us.
I know.
So on your cheat sheet, there has primary actions and then secondary actions. So yeah.
It is
Dice.
on here, too, if you-
Oh, but you gotta.
I got a Gandalf rune, but I didn't hit my target number.
Well, again, upper means you automatically succeed.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Then I succeed.
Okay. But with no
No,
Tangwars? Okay.
don't
no
kill it
Tangwars
in
or
one
special
today.
things or anything.
Okay. So yeah, you were going to successfully intimidate them. Grab my sheet of extra special things you can do. So when you intimidate a foe, you make an awe roll. A successful roll to all opponents with a might 1 are made weary on their next attack roll. If they produces a single success icon, then all adversaries with a might 2 suffer the same penalty. But you got that. What's the might 2 thing you have?
I roll favored.
Roll favored. Okay.
Yeah.
So might 1 with just an intimidate foe, they're not made weary because it's might 2 or above, and you don't have any Tangwars.
Okay.
But we'll say that they get distracted for just a minute. What we'll do? We'll say that you do that at that same moment. So Kai's arrow does scratch them just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So
Nice.
it's not the full damage you normally get, but I feel like a success needs some sort of addition. So it just slices just a little bit. So
Cool.
grazes. If
Yeah,
you
because she just like full on barbarian yells at it just to distract it.
will. Like not used to that that sort of
I'm
thing.
gonna scare all the villagers.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
You start to see like candles being lit in all the windows in town.
This is how
That's the way
new
like,
bridge
what?
gets burnt.
Oh no. And
It's gonna pick me up, and I'm gonna drop the torch.
No.
So there are other combat tasks you can take unless you don't have, if you have that list somewhere. But you do those instead of like an attack. So, which is why they're sometimes helpful if you don't actually have a weapon.
Or if you're too far.
You're too far.
Okay, so where is its position now? I'm just trying to visualize.
It's kind of like I'm picturing the four of you kind of in the center of like a small little clearing between the trees, kind of back to back in a bit of a circle-ish. And the three of you turn in time to see it, and it's jumping down, and it's kind of like midair slow-mo moment where it's like headed straight towards Hannar's back. So it's kind of somewhere between the tree and not quite at Hannar.
Okay. Can I jump in behind Hannar and be ready?
Oh,
For,
yeah.
like impalement?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. You can do that.
That's what I'm going to try.
Okay.
Whether the dice agree with me is a whole other thing.
Well, did you already roll?
No.
No, okay. And that's going to be enough.
I got one Tangwar.
Okay.
So, and I just hit my
Okay.
TN.
Okay. Then yeah, you have that elven dexterity, and you're able to like realize something's wrong. You see Aerlind's arrow get shot off. You see the beast kind of get distracted by Runa's shout, and you just have time just to get in the way. And we're gonna say that creature looking at Runa means when it like looks back up, it wasn't quite prepared for you to be there. So it like slams like right into you and Hannar. But yeah, it's definitely not exactly what it had it planned.
Good.
Yes. All right. And now we are back in normal rotation.
Haha.
Does it take damage from her sword in the blockage?
It does not take damage from that.
On the block.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I am going to, the two of you are going to take some damage because a 9-foot bat thing just crashed into both of you.
Sure.
That would hurt a little.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Now you are, you're kind of at least with some armor on, and it wasn't like attacking at that point. It was distracted and it was thrown off, so it wasn't like scratching or clawing or biting at you at that moment. But you're each going to take 4 damage just from having a giant thing crash into you full speed. So you'll take that to your endurance.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. This is your first combat. It's okay.
Welcome to the game of shedding equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
And do they subtract their armor rating from that, or is it just 4 damage?
It's just going to be 4.
Okay.
Like it'll just be, because it like probably should be higher than that, but just 4 seems like a nice sort of beginner start of the fight number.
Yeah, sure.
Very good. All right. Now the way this works is we start with people in forward stance, right? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
And then we work our way back. So people with forward stance, and it's kind of all happening in the same moment, but we just have them kind of declare and roll in that order. All right. And here we go. And then the foe always goes last. All right. Runa or Hannar?
Let me take a swing at it, please.
Okay.
One hit KO. One of you will do it.
All right. Rolling favored. And with forward stance. With my sword. Sometimes my dice don't like that though. So
Yeah,
let's
that's true.
find out. Do a good job. Oh, except when they do. I got my triple back. Okay. So, I got 3 Tangwars.
Wow.
And so that's 18, 22, 25, 33.
Wow.
I don't know what kind of success that is, but it's a big
All
one.
of it.
It's
all
all
of
Every
the
success.
It's all the successes.
Very, very, very good.
Rip.
Wow. Okay.
And then that gives you 3 heavy
Good job,
blows.
dice.
Yeah.
Also, we should note that it completed
Yes. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, it did. That's
the
amazing.
thing. Good job,
I'm
dice.
frightened.
Magic.
All right, so that was a success. You do have 3 Tangwars, so you can spend them on the special damage. So how much damage does your super cool sword do again?
My longsword does 6 damage.
Mhm.
And then for the special thingies, I'm gonna do the heavy blow,
blow.
which is my favorite thing on the planet.
Okay.
Um,
So inflict additional endurance loss equal to your strength rating. So what is your strength
my
rating?
strength rating is 4.
Okay. So you're doing that for all 3 of your Tangwars?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Doesn't mean
yours
10.
is a one-handed weapon, right? Or is it
2.
Two-handed. Okay. Plus 1 for every two-handed weapon. So that's 5 for each one.
Yes. Plus the 6 damage it does.
Yeah.
So 21.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
This is how our
Dang,
combats end. It's one of the 2 of them.
It's how they begin and end.
All right.
I think I've killed 1 enemy.
So it's still pulling itself up from this like mass of tumble. And you approach it and you take your mighty swing with your ghost blessed sword. And it like screeches. And says it very clearly speaks. You have no idea what it says. The 2 of you might pick up but probably not. Like you know what it is, but you don't know what it's saying. So it's very clearly an intelligent creature, and it's probably not saying very nice things to you at this particular moment. And it like wraps its wings around itself, and just like hisses, and then stands there like it's ready for whatever's coming next.
Okay. This is a tough guy.
Hey,
That was a big
there.
That was a big hit, yeah. I've learned last
Yeah.
time. The ghost bird was like, oh, cool.
Oops. Yeah, that time Hannar was just like, you're done.
yeah, 1 hit.
We got into this cool combat with a cool, crazy, agile ghost bird thing. Wick.
Do you need to know the injury rating for my weapon at all?
Yeah.
It's 18. I don't remember how that works.
Okay.
For wounds.
That is, I think
Yeah.
if it beat its parry, if your attack beat its parry, it has a chance to do the injury stuff, right?
Don't you have to hit the 12?
Well, that's if you. Yeah, I think you have to do that.
Yeah, you have to hit a 12 on your feat die to get a piercing
Oh,
blow.
okay.
Oh, that's right.
Got it.
That's
I mean,
that's
you
the
can. Yeah, you can. That's what for the piercing. You can add again. That's one of the things you can spend a Tangwar on.
Yeah.
You can add 3 to see if you get to a
That's-
piercing blow.
My world.
Yeah,
That's what bows are for.
exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I just like to do a lot of damage.
Yeah. It seems like that's like generally the best choice, at least mathematically, so far where we are in the game. But
Well, for the kind of combat that
Yeah.
they do,
yes, for sure.
that you're going to end up doing.
All right. So Hannar is next because you're still in forward stance.
Yes. Well, I think I probably have to spend this time recovering my position as an action.
Yeah.
'Cause
I mean,
got bowled over from behind.
yeah. You can. I was kind of thinking that could be like your secondary action, like you take a secondary action and a main action. But yeah, that's probably fair. The 2 of you probably need to recover for a moment.
Yeah. Well, at least I was wildly unprepared.
Yeah,
for
that's
this,
true. That's
right?
true.
Like
You're facing the wrong
I
way.
was just
Yeah.
like looking out into the darkness. Ugh, just
Yeah,
Ass over
Lyriel was
tea
like
kettle.
braced for it and ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you probably will be okay with the turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably like literally laying on the ground, like, what the hell?
Aw.
Sprawled out.
And also, because you have to hit your super terrible failure. You're laying there and you look up and you realize like your torch burns out.
Oh no.
So suddenly we're very close to like almost total darkness. There is a moon, but it's like filtered through the canopy of the trees. And your torch, just to clarify, your torch isn't broken,
No, it's
but
just
because
it was doused in the ground.
yeah, exactly.
No matter how well it's made, if you put fire into dirt,
Yeah.
doesn't work so great.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
On the plus side, I didn't light myself on fire. I will take that.
I should have. No, I'm just kidding. Now that you mention
Too late.
Fire's out. Can't do it.
Don't take backsies.
Yeah.
We're not burning the bridge today.
So Lyriel, you're next.
All right.
Or this combat turns into you all fighting the thing, and I'm just running off into the river. Like,
So for your main action, you can do a couple different things. You can make an attack, do a combat task. You can move across the battlefield or carry a friend if you want. You can recover a position after a knockback. You can pick up a weapon, helm, or shield, and you can retreat. So those are like the main actions. So
I want to make an attack on this thing
Okay.
because I'm close enough that,
yeah,
you know.
you had a good enough success. I feel like you probably did some sort of cool roll, like you hit and you but you were ready for it. So you yeah. So you ended up close enough to being on your feet that you can get up on your feet.
All right, so that's a 7.
Okay.
And then another 12, so 19.
19. Okay,
Over
that's
my 13.
yeah. That sounds like it'll do well. Very good. And then what weapon are you using again?
I'm using my sword.
Okay.
It's damage 4.
Okay. And any 6s.
No.
Okay.
Sadly.
So you get a good swing in. We're gonna say it's like half a second after it's closed its wings around itself because of Runa's attack, and you realize you slice at it, and you got a pretty good blow on there, but your very well made elven sword kind of glances off.
Yeah.
The whatever this membrane of these wings are is incredibly tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you still do a bit of
Otherwise, why would
damage.
it be protecting itself with them?
Go. I can math.
Oh, math.
And Aerlind.
From the very back, he's going to loose another arrow.
Okay.
I know it's very shocking.
We're gonna say to. I don't remember, and I don't have anything in my notes about called shots.
I mean, I could prepare a shot.
I feel like that's different.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just see how successful your success is.
Haha. I'm going to spend a hope. I want to hit this very badly. Okay. Oh no. I laughed and then my feet die landed.
Oh, no.
I got an I and a success with a Tangwar.
Oh, okay. Well, then you still have a success with the Tangwar.
Okay.
I will let you. What's your number on like how above your TN did you get?
This time I got 4 above my TN.
Okay. I'm just trying to like gauge the amount of success.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you do have a success. So yes. Go ahead and so you have 1 Tangwar, so you can choose one off the list of special damage as well. And what's the damage of your arrow normally?
4, and I'm going to, since my feet die was a bust, I'm gonna also make it a heavy blow and add 4
Okay. Great.
because I got strong.
Yeah. Very good.
And Aerlind yells back in Elvish some sort of absolute, like, go back to the shadow, very full-chested yell back as it is yelling at us in Black Speech.
Nice. That pisses it off a lot.
Yep.
it is looking the worse for wear, and what you did, and like kind of guessing at using your knowledge, because you have lots of knowledge, like at its kind of bat build, you actually like grazed its head and like sliced off part of like what looks like its ears. So it has like lost its ability to kind of use its like sonar and hearing in that one side of its head. So it's still very capable on this side, but that's a huge blow to just its abilities. So so it's standing in the middle of you, kind of from just describing. Obviously Aerlind's off a ways, but the other three of you are kind of like around it in melee range. So what's going to happen? It's fine. Ooh. Oh no. Okay. It's not great. Still makes it. It's a success. As one Tangwar did not roll an eye, which is its good one. So what it does, it suddenly like does a yell, and you kind of, it has this strange like voice to it where it's got this incredibly high pitched, like you almost can't hear it tone, and then like something that's also incredibly like a deep bass voice that are kind of like harmonizing with each other, but like in a like discordant way. It's not actually a chord. But it's not great. If Rhaenyra was there, he'd be very, very in pain. It's not great. That high pitch is basically kind of like a sonar that it's setting off. It just like says something incredibly rude to Aerlind in the dark speech. Like throws opens its wings and does like, and crouches and does like a spin. And it has a very long like arm span, and it's got claws like where bats would have claws basically. And it's just like, and like the three of you who are in range just like get
Okay.
slice off it. And it's going to do 4 damage.
Before or after armor?
Before.
Okay.
And since it's been so long, what's do you roll defensively based on your armor protection? Is that it?
No, I think you just have the rating that you subtract, right?
I have a
It says
2D.
protection 3D.
Yeah.
Oh, protection test.
Yeah,
Feat
yeah,
die
protection-
plus armor
yeah.
protection value and foe's injury rating.
Yes.
But isn't that for wounds
Yeah,
again?
that's only for wounds. You don't really,
Oh.
you don't really protect against endurance loss. It's
Gotcha.
just kind of like,
Just soak it.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just kind of.
What did it get for its attack?
It was a 20.
Ah, okay, very good.
That's why I kind of just assumed it was because I don't think anybody has 20 and anything.
No,
you know?
my parry is 16.
Almost. Yeah, very
Yeah,
close.
you're beefy. You got a lot of stuff going on.
That's why I was nervous for a second, because there was like, there are a few ones in this pile, but I also gave it a lot of dice because I was like,
No, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm making this creature and it's gonna be a thing.
4v1 is tough.
It's fine. All right.
Let me stab it.
Yeah. Very good. So it does that, and then and at the end, its secondary action is going to be to like wrap itself again. It's kind of crouching, and you can see now that you're all kind of like actually in combat, and it's wrapping its wings. This time, it wraps its wings just a slightly different way. Like the other arm is on top, and you can see like the big holes in the membrane and like the rip where it like was hit by your trap and then had to like pull itself free. So this, like the left, we'll say it's the left wing, like it's just like really screwed up and really messed up and still bleeding.
Just as a point, can we say that Hannar got hit right across the cheek?
Sure.
Because he would have aimed for the average size.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So Hannar has like a full like German dueling scar.
Oh.
Coming out.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beard's not going to grow in as well there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, it's a high. Like I want to go high, so yeah, it won't be like all the way up a beard anymore. It's gonna have
And did you put your helmet on before?
probably.
Okay, so it's got like it starts like here, so it's
Yeah.
very dramatic.
Ding.
So I'm in open stance, and I wanted to rally
Okay.
them. I don't. What does that do?
So
That's your action.
yeah, you took my.
Oh,
I
that'll
handed you
be
my
my
page.
page.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll be your action.
Oh, sorry.
You can read it out loud since you have the page that has it on there.
Fighters keeping an open stance may attempt to rally their comrades when the battle is wearing them out. Oh, okay. Only one player hero may choose to rally comrades in any given round. To do so, the acting player makes an enhearten roll as the main action for the round.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, that's good.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how that works. Okay. And I would have read it to you, except I handed you the paper so you could see what it said. But you can keep it if you want. But I will have you read it since you have it in your hand. Because this game is a lot to memorize.
Yeah. It's
I'm not going to be able to memorize it all, which is why I have all the printouts.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Next round. Does anyone want to change their stance? You can move around if you want.
No.
Nope. Okay. Then we'll start.
Is there an angrier version of forward stance? Then I'll stay.
Let's start with Hannar this time then.
Ah. So I think gets slashed kind of does like a paw away to make sure that it's not going to bleed into my eye or anything. And then just does a full like dwarven charge.
Okay.
Right? Like just
Nice.
shield up, axe out, get planning to like impact and chop at the same time, kind of a move. Here's where it gets good. Let's go.
Go, Hannar. Oh, very good.
Oh my.
I didn't get any Tengwars though,
Oh, disappointing. I was waiting
but
for
I
the
got
shield thrust.
all of the success because it's a Gandalf, and then even without the Gandalf counted at all, I still made my number.
Okay.
So
Nice.
So you really, really made it.
yes,
Okay,
I
great.
guarantee that it did not manage to parry.
Okay.
That's
Perfect.
and then my axe is 5.
5 damage. Okay. Very good. So yeah, you take this swinging, amazing, like dwarven blow, and even with your awesome axe, like it kind of like it feels like you're hitting almost stone. It doesn't damage your axe like you would if you were actually hitting a boulder or something, but it just does not sink into like you were hitting flesh. But there is like again similar to previous hits on it, like there is a scratch and there is blood, but you're actually not even tearing completely through the membrane of the wings. Runa.
Yay. All right. Let's go, sword.
Oh, sword.
Oh,
Okay, this one I'm gonna.
yeah, really
It is very crooked.
Okay, I'll take it. So I got 2 Tangwars.
okay.
11 plus 12. Yeah, 23 is. So I crushed my target
you did.
number.
Well done.
And I'm gonna use those 2 heavy blows.
Okay. So that'll be 4 and 4 again. Or
Uh,
5 and 5.
5 and 5
Yeah.
plus 6. 16 damage.
Nice. Very
You've
good.
done so much damage.
I know.
So much. What's the one thing with the extra? Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah, it's because I roll favored against Might 2, and I also over Yule practiced my swords
Yep.
a lot.
That's why I've actually hit this combat.
Nice.
All right. Next. Maria, what are
I'm
you
gonna
doing?
go at it again. Because we're not to the point where we're like super fatigued yet.
Weary.
Yeah. Okay. 12 on my feet die.
And
one
Nice.
So,
You absolutely succeed.
20. So 20 total.
Okay.
All right. So then I am going to use. Wait. Where is it?
It's the middle
The-
bottom attack rolls.
Oh, okay. So then heavy blow.
Yeah.
So okay, my sword does 4. My
Mhm.
strength is the rating is 5.
Okay. Then there you go. So 9 total.
Okay.
You had only one Tangor?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
But I had also rolled a 12 on my feet die.
That's great. That means
Okay.
automatic success, but that doesn't give you
okay.
extra damage.
Okay.
If you roll a 12 for anything,
Doesn't that mean piercing?
oh yeah,
Yeah, it does.
It
That's
does
a
mean
piercing
piercing.
blow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. So a piercing blow means that you can basically cause a actual wound. So most of the time we're chipping away at endurance. An actual wound can take out a creature very, very quickly, or a player very quickly. So yeah, you get to roll a piercing blow. So you are rolling. You roll 12 on a feet die. So
It's an 18.
think-
yeah,
It has to. Yeah.
yeah,
your,
it has to roll protection.
Protection, so it's,
against your
Against
swords.
it. Yeah.
which I think is
piercing
18.
rating, or injury rating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, injury rating is 16.
Are you two-handing or one-handing?
I am. It's a long sword,
Yeah.
so yeah,
If you're two-handing it, it's an 18. That's
Then-
why I'm asking.
yeah, because that's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an 18.
So I
You're not just
yeah.
gonna like offend.
So the yeah, so
That's
it's
me.
going to roll to see if it defends itself against
Okay.
you. Ooh. 9, 10. Nope, 14. Oh,
Ooh.
First wound.
yeah, good job. So yeah, it can only take 2 of those, by the way. So
Nice. Well
I'm
done.
going for it. This is my moment.
this is your moment.
Do it.
All right, Aerlind.
Aerlind.
All right, here we go.
By the way, I'm 100% envisioning Aerlind just holding the arrow back at full extension.
Oh yeah, he's just
The
holding.
whole round.
Yeah, he just
Like it
holds.
just
Just like
His draw is
Yep.
so quick, and he just holds. I am going to burn another hope.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. Okay, so 3. This. Not. I did hit it,
Mm-hmm.
unless we live in a world where it's above a 20.
No.
And I got 2 Tangwars.
Oh.
I'm trying to do math.
Okay.
Um,
I believe in you.
add a feat die plus. Okay. With math and my special thing.
Mhm.
So Aerlind's bow, Gerun, is a keen bow,
Mhm.
and at a 9, it lands a piercing blow. My feat die was a 5, but I have 2 Tangwar, and for bows, I add 2 points per Tangwar for a piercing blow. Landing on a 9.
Nice.
I did the thing!
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, he stands there the whole time and just waits for his opening.
Yeah. And it happens just as Lyriel hits like this total piercing blow. It like pushes it back, and you see its wings kind of flutter open just a little bit, and it like loses that shield for a moment, and like your arrow just comes like sailing in for like the exact like perfect shot, and you just like it doesn't even make like a screeching noise. It kind of like it was going to, and it like can't. And you just see like hatred burning in its eyes. And then it like for a moment, like barely, like you can barely hear it in this like deep voice. You may be blessed with great gifts, but we will take them and your hope from you. And they kind of like clump. And it's dead. Good job.
That was actually more unpleasant than I thought it would be, and I was dreading this encounter, should it ever occur.
I thought it was disgusting hearing the black speech, but hearing this, hearing our language.
What did it speak in?
It,
At the end?
it spoke common at the end.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
common.
Okay.
Is everyone... Right.
All right.
Mostly.
Got me in the side a little, but I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Hannar, you've
Yes. It will stop eventually, I think. My face is still attached.
all right.
What do we do with
We're still on
this?
top.
Oh, yeah.
I think we bring it back to the ruins. Right?
Should we?
I feel like this is something that deserves a pyre
Yes.
be
Yes.
removed.
Yes.
Not under the eaves of these trees.
No.
Let's do it then.
All right. I'm going to go find some wood. Are you all right to
I'm going
drag
to take
it?
up the legs.
We should stay in pairs. I think it was probably alone, but just in case.
It's fair.
I'll get the other end.
I'll go with Aerlind to gather wood.
There you go. You're in a forest. You find the wood.
We know the wood around here.
If you encounter another one, yell like you did last time, because we'll hear you for sure.
I think they heard me in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you were able to find everything you need to build a pyre for this incredibly large thing. As you burn it, you find a clearing in the forest, and the stench is just atrocious.
I think very horribly, before we burn it, Aerlind takes a pretty detailed drawing of it. Specifically, the intent, and he would say so, to bring it to Rivendell and give it to Glorfindel.
Yeah, and Glorfindel had described these creatures to you as something that he was familiar with. But yeah, definitely just confirming is always a good idea.
Well, and then he could be like, "This is what it looks like. Avoid this."
Yeah. Makes sense.
It didn't have anything else upon itself, did it? Before we, I didn't know if it wore
Yeah.
a pouch or any,
No, it has some like scar tattoos and just also scars kind of on its body and on the inside of its wings just a little bit. But I don't know if you want to roll for lore, maybe.
Yeah. What are they? What are they?
Wanna-
For lore.
Yeah. You always roll your d12 too.
Oh, good thing I rolled favorite.
24.
Yes.
And for once, it's a good thing you're here. I failed my lore roll. Wait, hold on. Can I do math? I just make my lore roll.
Okay. Well, you are very young, so
Yes.
you would know that this was, some of it is like superstition of more of the dark forces. Some of it's like prayers in the dark speech to their lord. Some of it is kind of like similar to like from those of us from the movies and the books, like The Ring. Some of it's like verse about that they think would give them blessings of the Dark Lord. So it's just all like a bunch of like nasty stuff. You do see that some of it's like fresh, like new, like some of it still like has scabs on it. And this would tell you that like this and probably other creatures like it expect more battles to come.
Mm.
Like this is a sign that they are like this is a thing they only do when they think they're gonna fight, or when they're getting ready for some like big thing.
And I tell them all that. We must be on our guard. And my apologies. When we were first traveling to Rivendell, on my watch, I did see something flit,
Ah,
Hmm.
but nothing came near, and so I thought it wise not to worry you.
I understand the sentiment. We have seen this following us before. If you see something like that again, please tell us.
Oh, definitely.
darkness rises,
And we put it down.
and we will again. I'm very tired.
I think we should go back to bed.
Yes. Good fighting, everyone. I just
Yes.
thought I would compliment you all on your skill.
Thank you.
Indeed, I appreciate still being here thanks to your speed.
And bravery,
Indeed.
as always, well struck. Both of you. And you as well.
And you as well. That last
Yes.
arrow. So impressive.
Killing blow.
I might have been doing some training.
We hadn't noticed.
Very nice. So you go back in and have a restful evening, whether you take watches or not. Nothing else happens.
I don't think Hannar goes back to bed.
Okay.
Like, he'll go and sit by the fire, but not.
I'm gonna do something a little creepy.
Go on.
Ready to go.
Once it's like burned down, I want to take the skull to put in the archive.
Okay. Nice. Okay. You do. It's blackened from obviously the fire. You see, it has these large like fangs. And when you pick it up, it is incredibly heavy. Like, you wouldn't expect it to be heavy like this, especially being a winged creature. But it weighs on you as you carry it.
And I'm gonna put it in something so it can't like look at me.
Yeah, whatever, you put it in a sack or something.
But yeah, just put it in a bag.
Okay. Yeah, and it's disquieting. It's like interesting, but it is a little. It's something that you're kind of aware
Okay.
of. Sort of similar to how Hannar, when he had the pearl before he even knew what was in it, like it was just something that was like always on the back of his mind, just slightly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you find yourself kind of like keep coming back to the thought that it's there. So just a little bit disquieting.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with her having the skull like in the house? Okay.
Okay. Just outside on the stoop.
In the storeroom.
Leave
It's jack-o'-lantern.
Just a little sign, leave evil skulls here.
Shocked we don't have one already.
It just feels like an important
And
thing. Like,
take off
look,
your
these
shoes.
things exist.
Yes.
Sure.
Be prepared.
Leave skulls and shoes at the door.
All right. So yeah, next morning, Hannar has not gone back to bed. Runa, after you took the skull, it probably would take many hours to burn down.
Yeah.
So it's probably the next morning, honestly.
Yeah,
when
I
you did that.
probably like went back for it.
Okay. And there is like a strange haze in the forest. It's kind of fog, but it also kind of feels almost like the darkness of this creature. Like when you burned it, like the smoke just couldn't rise because it's so foul and so evil. Like even the skies rejected this. And so it's just kind of like floating below. It doesn't cause you any harm or anything, but it's just like gross.
Aerlind wakes up bright and early. Starts to make nice early breakfast. Just to kind of like rouse the spirits after a long night. Yeah.
You have a fine breakfast that is delightful and almost Hobbit worthy. And
Few things are.
yeah. But yeah, there's just kind of like this weird filter of lights. Your torch lights back up and everything is fine.
Yeah, overnight I probably
Yeah.
fixed it and polished it and
Yeah.
reset it.
What did you do since you didn't go back to bed? What were you working on or thinking about?
I think he spent a lot of time just sitting watching the fire. Thinking about,
The fire in the ruins or the fire where you were cremating the bat?
well, we brought it back to the ruins, but we didn't light it on fire in the forest, right?
We burned it near the ruins.
Yeah,
is
not-
my
you're
thought.
not
Yeah,
in your-
on the shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay. I was trying to
Probably-
picture whether you were inside, like by your fire that you sleep by, or
No, I probably stayed up by the pyre
Yeah.
fire for
Just
a long
to
time.
make sure.
Well, I mean, a little of that for sure, but I think he probably is spending a lot of time like thinking about the places that we saw this thing, especially after you mentioned you saw it near Rivendell and like where we saw it before, and like this thing has followed for miles and successfully, and thinking about all the places that we've been that we don't necessarily want it to know about or do. And then I think he probably writes a letter back to the Shire.
oh yeah,
And I think he probably sketches the thing too
Mm-hmm.
and writes a letter to his art teacher in Rivendell to be like, here's this thing we fought, and I don't know how close it got to you all, but with a little bit of concern, like,
Yeah.
I know elves are prone to be like, meh, we got this handled, but no, I mean, this is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
So,
As you're kind of ruminating on that, you probably would kind of be tracking as it followed you. You'd probably be more concerned about the Shire.
oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But and that would definitely kind of be one of the more vulnerable places, since
sure.
most of the other places you hung out are great elven strongholds, but and also like Creek's Crossing. But it does also occur to you, and I'm not going to be bold, I'm just going to give this to you, but like it obviously was following you for a reason, and it obviously was not planning on having an altercation with you. So either it was working of its own will, or someone sent it to just be your shadow and follow you and either collect information or something else. So
Sure.
yeah. Guy's face is amazing right now. Just total disgust.
I think Aerlind purposely puts it all away and is like very cheerful in the morning and ready for another adventure.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what would you like to do that morning?
Also, specifically, I think Hannar would use like a dagger and heat it up and cauterize his
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
cut.
Okay.
Because it was made by that thing. Like,
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been probably over breakfast, some planning. Are we traveling north?
I'm still for it.
Monster, treasure.
Well, at least we won't have that following us.
Yes, I thought it had given it up. Foolish me.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's gather our things and get ready to venture north.
Yes. All right. Just a little bit of reminders, and you've probably heard the story through over Yule and all these things. So you found this haunted golden bird cage that was being used by vengeful spirits to take out people on the road. And it kept saying how it was too late. It was too late. And it was a well-dressed nobleman of an age like previous for humans quite some time ago, not so long ago for the elves, but it was of the time where the kingdoms, it had been one kingdom when humans first came over from Numenor. But since then, through inheritance and having multiple children and things like that, it had broken into multiple kingdoms. So the rumor that you'd heard was that, let's see, there was a large creature that was wandering and killing in different places. And you had also kind of linked it to the possible lore of this bird cage that different people along the way had told you was part of the last king of Arthedain, I think, and who had been fleeing with a bunch of treasure, and then was trapped in this old dwarf mine that they've been looking for some sanctuary from this large creature. Unfortunately, many of them died. They were caught there for some time, and while they left with the finest things, when they finally were able to escape, there's rumors that there's this huge amount of treasure that's still in these dwarven mines, but no one's ever been able to successfully retrieve them. Some because dwarf mines are incredibly complicated just to get through. It's planned, and there's places where they'd hide the treasure and stuff, and also because this creature is still rumored to be out there, and yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Just reviewing my notes.
Yeah.
So you have not seen this creature. You don't know for certain if it is in fact the same creature from the legends. It is a known fact, that this prince or king was stuck in these mines for a period of time. People have gone looking for the treasure. Some of them have returned and just had not found it. Some of them never returned. So it's kind of a mix of different reasons. Some returned with some amazing things, but whether that's actually pieces of the treasure or if that's things left over from the great dwarven civilization that used to be there, unknown. Or maybe they're just liars, and who knows.
Out of character,
Mm-hmm.
are all of the humans in Middle-earth Numenorian descendants?
No.
Okay. So there were multiple sources of humanity.
Yes, there were already humans here in Middle-earth.
Okay.
The Numenorians were rewarded for their fighting on the side of the Valar with a resplendent, incredible island nation. So they were,
Right.
yeah.
But then they screwed that up, and the rest of them
Yeah.
came here.
Yeah, so the rest of them came here. So the Dunedain are kind of the descendants of the Numenorians, while there's a lot of regular folk
That are just...
Yeah.
that are just, for the people who are already
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
And then there's some who are kind of in between, who are the descendants of, because the different races of men
Intermingled.
intermingled.
Also, the Numenorians landed all over the place.
Yeah.
Ah,
So like Gondor, there's a reason the line of kings is Numenorian.
Mhm.
gotcha.
Um,
And second, is this abandoned Dwarven Kingdom area that we're heading towards like one of the ones that was murdered by dragons?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Because I read up on that.
Okay.
How dwarves are like, yeah, those rings don't actually work on us, sucker. But then the dragons were like, oh, but they're delightful and we'd like to eat them.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
No, this is the end of the first age, so these are old dwarven mines,
Mm,
like
gotcha.
a lot older than your old elf friend here. So the end of the first age, there was a great cataclysm that reshaped the land and a lot of different things, and that's when these dwarven mines were abandoned.
Gotcha.
So these would be incredibly ancient for even you.
Sure.
So like the dwarvish that was spoken in, at this time, you probably would barely recognize it. Sort of how some of us would recognize some bits of Latin. Like it's that ancient.
It's not even that old. Old English.
Yeah.
It's all like,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Middle English.
Reading Beowulf,
English.
like, what?
Oh god.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, very,
Sure.
very ancient.
Good.
And even so ancient, you probably would like vaguely know that there used to be a civilization here, but
right. It was not one of those like, oh, it was rehabilitated or
no. This is up in the Blue Mountains. Your people would probably be the descendants of this thing because they are in a similar
in the area.
region.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was never rehabilitated, and it's not completely clear like why it was abandoned. I'm sure at one point it was, but that would be incredibly ancient history.
Okay. I just took great delight in the fact that like the dwarf king rings didn't work. Like, oops.
Thanks for the bobble.
Yeah. Well, they actually worked.
Yeah.
Like they were super useful, but they weren't under control.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's cool.
The dwarves are actually made of literally different stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They're all.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think we gather our things and
Mhm.
start to head north. Now, the question is, when we travel north, which route are we taking?
Great question.
And our plan is to head all the way up to the old dwarf mines at the very top of the map. Yeah.
Correct.
That's our target area.
Correct. And we are...
We're somewhere. We're right by that V, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I suppose I could bring up the map and let everyone join in the fun. Hold on. There we are.
I mean, it seems wise to take the river as far up as we can go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
I would say take it all the way north
and
And
just
then,
get
yeah,
off and
get
hike a little
southwest.
south.
and then hike along the foothills and up into the mountains at the pass.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I think that's our route.
River time. Oh no, not boats. Hate boats.
Well, even if we don't take a boat and we just follow the river.
Sure.
Too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at some point, like the little loon there is gonna get, and like high up enough, it's gonna be not big enough for a full boat for all
Yeah.
of you.
We're actually going almost to the northern
Yeah,
coast.
Past on the right hand.
The
Yeah.
places we should not go.
Well, the river skirts the not terrible lands
Yes.
until we get as close as we possibly can.
Yeah, and then we just go a little bit through not through terrible,
Right.
sort of terrible.
So what is up here?
A frozen bay and a lot of fallen old kingdom.
Ah.
It's literally like the Blacklands.
Yeah. On the map, all the orange areas are like dark lands. Like it's dangerous, much more dangerous. So
It's also where a lot of the old wars from the era that we're talking about were fought.
So we're going to the dwarven mine that's in an orange area.
And on top of that, it's perilously in the orange. It's
Oh.
double bad.
We've avoided all places like this for the most part, with the exception of Swanfleet. Oh, drone
Yeah.
map.
I mean, we could take a much longer route down and around through,
I was having that kind of
Borderlands.
wonder as well.
and then a little bit, just a wee teensy bit through Darklands.
And also the Lindon region is actually where Aerlind started his Yule. That's actually where he's from. From.
Is Forlund a elven city also?
Yes, all of this is Lindon Elven Kingdom.
Ah. Well, I'd be fine with that also.
Mhm.
We could take a little
You wanna-
stop over in Forland and rest, kind of halfway.
I don't know about you all, but I'm absolutely not in the best of shape to go on a massive journey without a rest break.
The other, so we're doubling the length to go that way, but the journey will be easier. My other concern is that our one hint was on this side of the mountains, and if we go the other way, we will be away from that area. We found
That's
the bird
true.
cage on this side of the Blue Mountains.
It is a lot shorter this way.
Yes.
I suppose if you all want to go north, we could follow the little loon across and stop at my home.
Yeah, we can go to your home for one.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm for that.
Let's go
Yeah.
meet some
I
dwarves.
don't know how the hell that's going to go, but sure.
Oh no.
Runa's gonna make friends.
More likely you than I.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Journey.
Let's go to Hannar's house.
Journey
Yep.
phase.
All right, so we need to pick our roles for the journey phase.
Trying to draw. Why won't
And we
you
need to
let
figure
me?
out who our guide will be.
Been a while. I don't remember what I'm good at.
Many things.
It still makes me laugh thinking about the dwarven hunting technique of going, just running after things and hugging.
I mean, there's a lot of the dwarven things that make me laugh a lot.
That's fair.
I can take lookout.
Awesome. That's the one thing I am absolutely not qualified to
That's
do.
the one I have loads of stuff in.
I suppose I could do guide.
I
Pretty
could
good
also
travel.
guide.
No, I mean, that's fine too.
I can do hunting.
I am also good at scout. So
Cool.
Yeah, I can do hunter or scout. Let's see. What is my travel? Travel is about the same. All three of those are the same for me.
And as a reminder, we studied stored and figured maps.
Yes.
So we have a +1 on the journey table roll.
Mhm.
Yes.
Remember your blessings as well, if you have any blessings.
Yes, this is why I was like, I could travel.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very spirited in that direction. Trying to remember how everything works.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So we have a guide.
I think
Fine.
I am guided.
Okay.
and then I'll scout.
Aerlind, you're scouting. You're my lookout, and you're my hunter.
Great.
Perfect. All right. So roll for your guiding. So you're gonna roll travel.
You've got to be joking me. Okay, well, I still made it,
Okay.
but my dice tried. Yes, it's a success. I
Okay.
definitely beat my target.
Perfect. So that means we're going to go 2 hexes. And let's see, event targets. Roll. Oop, 6. So the hunter.
Oh, that's me.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Roll and see if you're successful in hunting.
Let's find out. No.
Oh.
I said no.
Wah, wah. All right.
Limbus is it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
You were going to have a chance meeting. Unfortunately,
Womp womp.
yeah, we have another one of those moments where, you know what, I'm going to have it be Leorin and Ranyar.
Again,
Again,
I think
he's
that's
just
hilarious.
wandering around like, where the heck are they?
They're supposed to be walking this way.
Yeah. And everyone takes 1 fatigue, please. And yeah, it's one of those things where you're all like walking near the river, and maybe you like go a little bit away from the bank of the river for a moment, and we see, you know, oh, we're gonna go this way. Oh, you're hunting, so
Yeah.
you'll leave the bank of the river to do some hunting, just slightly away, And it's like on the other side of the river, like walking downward towards the ruins, we see Leorin and Ranyar. And Leorin seems to be like talking to his dog Ranyar, like having a full one-sided conversation about something. Probably complaining about where all of you are.
You can never find us anymore.
Yeah.
We had some fatigue traveling to was it to
Mithlond?
Mithlond.
Isn't, oh,
Oh,
that was
is that gone?
yeah,
Okay.
that's all cleared. Yeah, you had the most restful, most relaxing, beautiful beach picnic ever that took away all your fatigue. But you do start again now. All right. Very nice. Next one.
Oh. Okay.
Or is everyone keeping their same
Are we
jobs?
keeping everything?
Okay.
I'm happy to trade if someone feels like trading. But
Okay.
Getting scarier by the
Your
second.
dice do not like you.
They do not want me to succeed at this, but I do succeed
Okay.
by, I think, by 1.
Okay.
I roll favored. I have 3 die at this.
Oh my gosh.
They're trying real hard.
They are. All right. So that's 2 more hexes.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That should be 3 hexes for the first one and 3 hexes for the second one. My bad. So we should be on 6 hexes now.
Great. We're there.
Any Tanguars though?
No,
No.
no, we're just getting by.
Just open. Okay. So, should be 6 hexes now. Okay, great. Then. Oh, my hunter again.
Okay. All right, dice. Do a slightly better job, please. That's a much better job.
Okay.
I succeeded. Nothing special, but I did succeed.
Okay. 0 fatigue for everyone then.
Yay!
And it is the 8 chance meeting.
Yay!
We're gonna say that this time though, sorry, Leorin and Ranyar are on their way
they're going
elsewhere.
that direction.
Yeah. You're going to find just a hunter who's in the forest, and it seems like that is part of his trade. Is he, hunts animals, collects their pelts, smokes their meat, and sells it as he hits different towns and things like that. And he is very familiar with this area, and is able to offer you a bit of food and exchange for a bit of company. He seems wildly unused to having conversations with people.
Oh,
He's like the true grit dentist.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the film, then I can't
Okay.
help you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
there's music. There has to be music.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He seems baffled by music also, but enjoys it. He has a squirrel that is kind of his little companion. That it sits. He has a very large hat, and it tends to sit on the brim of his hat when he's walking around, and then when he's sitting with you around the fire in the evening, it kind of sits on his shoulder, and he feeds it bits of things as he goes.
Cute. It's very cute.
1,000% all night. I'm waiting for it to talk or wink.
Waiting for
talk to
you
my
to
friends,
talk to
the
it.
audience.
Oh, she definitely talks to the squirrel.
Okay.
I can't speak squirrel.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Runa just always talks to animals
Oh, yeah.
anyway, even if she doesn't understand their language.
yeah. But it works for birds now, so I just wanted to double.
It does
check.
work for birds now.
This is why Aerlind was like,
Like when Leorin first met her, she was talking to her horse.
Yeah, that's true. I just wanted to double check mechanically.
Mechanically, no.
Okay, maybe
the
it's
squirrel does not understand.
animals of a certain size. You can... Okay.
it's not the Disney
birds.
princess.
Okay.
No, just birds.
Yeah. And the hunter, and his name is Bevan. And yeah, he talks to a squirrel. He thinks it's totally normal. You talk to a squirrel. Of course, he talks to a squirrel. The squirrel does not ever talk back, and it does not give any indication that it understands anything that is being said in any way. It seems like a very normal squirrel who just happens to realize, hey, there's a lot of free food with this person.
I think every so often, Aerlind just looks at Lyriel. Like, is there something I'm missing here?
Shrug.
Slowest
Just
shrug.
like a slow shrug, like.
Right.
Yeah, so you have a perfectly pleasant evening. Are there any specific things you'd like to ask him?
I guess I would ask him if he had heard any rumors similar to like the travelers along the road that experienced the birdcage ghost, or things about the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Since that's what we're kind of up here investigating.
Yeah. Well, I don't ever go up into the whole mountains. That's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. Why would they do it up in the mountains? I don't know. He starts talking to a squirrel. Probably he does this like quite often. Like he kind of gets distracted because he's so used to only talking to a squirrel because he's by himself all the time that he suddenly will. And then he'll kind of come back to, oh yes, I have other people to talk to. But I have seen bits of the signs of this great beast that you speak of. Yes, and I have heard many stories of it attacking people along the roads and anyone who gets close up into the mountains. So, I also heard that it had eaten the whole dwarven civilization. Is that the case?
Well, not mine, but perhaps.
Oh.
There are beasts capable of doing so. I certainly hope this isn't one of them.
I haven't actually seen it, but it seems quite large. I wouldn't, if it would run the other way. Honestly, wouldn't you run the other way? I would run the other way. It seems like a very bad idea to sit and just wait for it to eat you or to stand there with a sword. It seems like a very
You said you'd seen signs of the beast.
Oh, yes.
Like footprints, tracks. What type of signs have you seen?
Yes, I don't know if it is in fact that beast, but it's a very large beast. But there are occasionally tracks. Sometimes you find signs of its feasting and prey. I have found bits of belongings of travelers who must have met their ends in some way. Never any of like them themselves, but often there'll be a pile of belongings or such things. I once found a half-eaten horse.
What do the tracks look like?
Oh, it's a bit hard to tell, but they're great kind of paws, but more like bear paws, but the claws are a little bit odd. It's very strange, very strange.
About what size?
Oh, that's hard to say. I mean, sometimes they're quite wee, but then sometimes they're great big. So it's hard to tell sometimes which ones are the beast.
The half-eaten horse.
Yes.
One bite or many?
Oh, I think just one.
That is a large bite.
Aerlind goes sheet white.
This is why it's hard to tell with the paw prints, because generally there's not just like one big print. It's like the piece, or maybe one toe that's in the mud or things like that. Right? It's just the one toe last time. I think it was only the one toe last time. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it was the
fish
right
was
toe.
large enough to eat half a horse.
Was it?
Easily. If it had been, in the water.
All right.
Never ride a horse in a lake again.
Yeah, right. No more lakes.
But sure. The oversized bear could do so.
Mm-hmm.
A horse at one bite.
Well, indeed.
But greatly oversized, maybe.
All right.
I mean,
very tiny horses in dwarven lands.
No.
well, yes, indeed.
Those are called ponies.
Well, yes, but I mean, even a pony. I mean, it's like you have ponies with you. You kind of like a bear can't eat like that in one bite. What kind of bear
very
is he?
large bear. Very large bear.
Ugh. Anything at that size. is
We heard
concerning.
rumor of very large swans. If there can be very large swans, there could be very large bears.
Never did lay eyes on the swans.
Well, no, but everyone seemed to be in consensus that they were much larger than an average swan.
He's looking at you.
Not
like
anywhere
you're
nearby.
wild.
No, far,
like,
far away.
he's looking at a squirrel, like concerned for their
It's like,
welfare with these wild
Do you
people.
see this squirrel?
They're talking about giant swans.
I've never seen a giant squirrel.
Good. He has no idea how to.
I was reassuring the squirrel.
Oh,
I wasn't even talking to him.
oh, okay.
Reassuring
Even
the
better.
squirrel.
100%. I'm pretty sure that anybody that has an animal is some kind of intelligent creature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. He thinks you're very uneducated, and he thinks you're all. He thinks there's giant swans
Sure, that's fine.
and squirrels.
I don't even think Hannar picks up on that because
No.
he's just so confident that it's all true.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you encountered any fur?
Oh, sometimes caught on things, but fur is a hard thing to get. Like, it does not seem that thing sheds, at least where I have been. But I would think there'd be giant fuzz everywhere. But no, nothing from that beast that I know of.
So no fur caught on thorns or...
I mean, occasionally, but it's hard to tell if it's from that or, I mean, if it was, I mean, perhaps it rubs on trees way up above my head. I do not know, but if I've seen the fur of such a creature, I have not known it was that.
All right. The tracks. Is there just a chance that they are more of a reptilian nature?
Reptilian. I don't know that I have seen reptile tracks. I have seen, like, the wee lizards that
Yes.
crawl about.
Now make it very big.
Oh no, these, whatever made these tracks has pads.
All right.
He looks at you like, what?
Aerlind's going, dwarves and dragons.
Yeah, I feel like he like the Bevan is sitting there with the squirrel, like grinning, like
Like, okay.
yeah,
Like,
totally,
I found the craziest people in the forest.
yeah, humoring all of you, like okay. I don't know how they survived not knowing anything about anything in the wilderness.
I think when Aerlind brings that up, Hannah's like, no. This isn't a dragon area. No.
You think that they've quarantined themselves somewhere?
Well, they don't get out much.
You're very right. I think I just let my fear get the better of me.
And the last one was taken care of.
Yes, and that was a minute ago at this point.
The tracks, where did you see them?
Oh, there have been a few times that I've seen them around the base of the mountains here, sometimes by the river, but kind of a bit of everywhere. But as I said, there's never been one clear one. There's always bits and pieces of one.
I tell him what our planned route is. I say, is this way relatively safe, or is there an area we should particularly avoid?
Well, I avoid all of that, but I guess it might be as safe as the others. I generally stick to by the river. That is where the best hunting is, and smaller creatures. And I just avoid the large mountains entirely for the most part. I sometimes go near the base just a bit, but those are dark lands, and I avoid them unless I am after a specific query and I know it will pay off.
That is fair.
All right.
But like back home, was there a common story told to the dwarven children not to run off because giant bear might eat you, or were there any rumors like that?
You're asking me, the GM out of
Yes.
character? Okay. You said it a little in character, and like,
Yeah,
Hunter's
sorry.
like,
Yeah.
I have no idea. You remember your childhood, Dwarf.
I've been on the road a long time. I forget things.
The squirrel knows all, Kimi.
I mean, there were lots of stories told like that specifically. Getting out of the mine wasn't generally something that young dwarves did a lot of until they were of an age to like go out on hunting parties and things like that. So, I mean, to some extent, there probably were some things you could assume might be linked with that, but they also told like stories about Balrogs coming to eat you if you were bad and things like that.
Sure.
So, very traumatizing. So
Of
like,
greater concern for the dwarven children that grew up on the lower levels.
yeah, exactly.
It's really warm down here for some reason.
So
Sleep with one eye open.
yeah, but thinking back that yeah, there might be some stories that you were told as a child that you had written off as like folk tales that, well, maybe they weren't so false.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aerlind just starts mentally going through all of the horrible things that he has ever read about and everything. Now that we know that the horrible Batman is real, he's going, oh no, this is... All right, back into the Glorfindel yarn board time.
Yes.
Can I roll against my lord to see if I would have heard of a giant bear type thing?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
17 and 1
Tangor.
Tagwar.
Okay, is that a success?
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
It was 17?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you definitely would have heard and maybe even known people who faced this. It's called the Terror of Angmar. And it is Kai's face is amazing.
That name is bad.
So it is a great kind of misshapen bear form. And it has a little bit of an eerie human-like face. And then and its hands, actually. Like it does have like bear paws as its like back legs, but it has almost like bear hands for its front feet. So yeah, it's pretty gross.
Horrifying and delightful. I'm very excited.
What
Yeah.
a nightmare.
And we all know now why the Witch King moved out.
The neighbor was bad.
Yeah. And
Jump on the back of that wraith thing and fly away screaming.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's really why he's screaming.
yeah. Yeah, it is incredibly ancient. If it's the same beast, like it is ancient beyond measure. This would be one of the creatures like from like the first war, like where the elves were fighting Morgoth. So
Wow.
yeah, so it would be beyond ancient, but it's possible like maybe it had like
Descendants,
pups or
yeah.
something, and like who knows, like which they would also be incredibly ancient if it was them. So it's like whatever it is. Yeah, and you'd know it was like something that was feared and sent by the darkness to do awful tasks. Like while the bats were messengers and spies, this was something that they would send to like destroy cities and towns.
Okay.
So,
How much of this do you share?
All of it.
Okay. Kimmy, how much does Aerlind know about shape changers?
shape changers?
Yeah, like Bjorn. Like.
Oh, roll lore.
Deep cuts today, guys. Deep.
I feel that's every session.
Yeah, that's fair.
Every time you're like, oh, I'm so sorry about like this deep dive.
I just make it.
You probably know whispers and like rumors of them. You probably couldn't like name.
No, this was so
Yeah.
long ago.
Yeah, but you would know, similar to like with the otters, like you know that were awakened creatures, like maybe such things still exist, but maybe.
There was a story that I heard once from the elder days of men who weren't men that were also beasts. And I have never heard much beyond rumor. I fear that this might be some corruption of that.
It very well could be. Or they could have created a new terror.
Oh, this is very bad.
If it was a creature that was created once, it could be created again.
Whatever it is sounds like a danger that should be removed from the area.
Yes. Ooh.
Hunter's just sitting there, like, sipping his drink.
Okay, now you guys are talking about werebears and ancient monsters.
Well, I think it's time for me to get some sleep, yawn. Yes, we are probably going to hike a bit for just health. Have a good trip, and blessings on all of you.
And let the Valar guide you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Gather his things. Ways.
Takes a squirrel and goes.
Exactly.
I would probably have offered him some seasonings,
Uh-huh.
just random selection of things.
He takes it gingerly.
He could put on the smoked meat.
Yeah. They appreciate this.
He would like to go now.
Yes.
Now that we've fully frightened him.
Yes. Yes. So you have your chance meeting, and you get some important information from it.
Heck of a meeting.
Maybe we shouldn't have spoken so openly in front of him.
Why not?
Well,
Who's he going to tell? The squirrel?
true.
Devious things.
Better he's a bit afraid of this thing than he stumbles into it.
I think he's more afraid of us now.
Well, a rumor of a strange collection of travelers in the north would also keep him away.
True enough. Oof. Oh, I'm going to sleep with one eye open.
All right. Next roll. Everything's fine.
Fair fear.
Yeah.
Me, Kai, I'm like, I love you.
Out of character,
Very good.
was Angmar at all related to these kingdoms that broke up?
Angmar is way up at the top of the map. The Witch King is from there. The Witch King of Angmar. Yeah. So it is not. It was not one of the human kingdoms. It got that name later.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, all of this area was originally part of like this one big kingdom that was broken up.
I
But
see.
Angmar itself is just a bad, dark place. Anything with
And-
of Angmar is bad.
It's,
Yep.
But like, Angmar got its name after these kingdoms broke up.
Yes, I believe so.
It used to be called something.
Yeah, it had another name.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Angmar was its like darkness bad name. It means
It was part of Rudar, which was a neighboring kingdom to Arthedain.
yeah. So it was one of them, but then bad darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
1300, second age, third age. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So this creature traveled quite a ways
Yeah.
to get here, if it is what we fear.
Well, Ingmar's not that far. Like you went a lot farther to get to Rivendell.
Well, sure,
Oh,
but
yeah.
for a random monster to wander this far,
Yeah.
it usually would have had to have a purpose.
The other thing, so like going back to the whole like everything in the north is black land, like literally. So Forodwaith, which is like the border kingdom region to the northern waste. It's called the northern waste because it got like magically nuked during the war.
Bad.
So there's a lot of there would have been a lot of transit back then in that region because there were all kinds of elven strongholds and things in that area.
Mm.
In reality, Aerlind's ancestors are from a little bit further north.
Also, like once like Angmar fell, there were a lot of fell beasts and stuff that no longer had anybody telling them what to do. So they just started kind of wandering about.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
I succeeded.
Okay.
Huzzah.
So that's 3 more hexes.
We're at
That means we get there.
we're at Hannar's home.
Yep.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yay.
I'm gonna have one more thing happen though, for whatever it is. So it's gonna be my scout. Who's my scout?
Not me.
Is that
Oh,
me?
That's you.
I'm lookout.
No, that is me.
Okay.
Haha.
I'm so used to it not being me. I made it.
Okay.
Nothing special.
Okay. Then you take 2 fatigue, everyone. And there's a mishap you narrowly avoid. Nothing super serious, but what is the mishap that you avoid just as you are arriving home? And it could be something also humorous. It doesn't have to be something like physically dangerous.
I think as we got nearer the mountains, we started to cloud cover and it started to rain.
Okay.
So I think we narrowly avoided maybe a flash flood as it came down the mountain. The river overflowed its banks, and but having grown up here, I was like, yeah, okay, it's raining. Never be by the river. So we moved away a little way.
Okay.
But getting to this area now, we're just soaked, right? It's just been consistently raining for the whole day, and yeah,
Excellent. All right.
in a narrative mirror to Hannar's feelings.
Oh.
All right. We're actually going to end there tonight because I'd like to kick off the next session with our arrival and have a bit of a meeting with people maybe there if you choose it, and then moving on from there for our next leg of our journey.
Sounds good.
Meet the giant werebear.
Allegedly. It's just a
Allegedly.
rumor. Don't know what you're talking about.
We get there, it's just a group of bandits with weird bare feet stamps. We're like, oh,
We've already done this one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'd like to thank our chat mod, James V, for all your hard work. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we're able to play games that we want to without worrying about getting ad revenue or sponsorships from anyone. You can join their heroic ranks and keep us producing things that we like for fun. That's for fun, not for money. At happyjacks.org/Patreon. Let's see. Let's go around the table. We'll start with Samantha this time.
Hello, that's me.
Yep.
Sam, aka Runa of Bree, your friendly neighborhood sword swinger this episode. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid on most of the socials. And if you want to see weird, creepy, cute art that I do put on clothing, you can check out my shop, stiarnastore.com.
Hi guys, I'm Kai. I've been the shockingly heroic Aerlind. You can find me on all social media platforms as Estelle of Emladris. And you can follow all of my adventures, including on the just announced last week, Transplanter RPG, where I'm joining the main cast of Campaign 2, where we are a all trans people of color led actual play where we are exploring a very, very range of multiverses and planes as we journey to do the will of fate. That starts not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, and it's going to be quite a ride. So that's Transplanter RPG on all social media, and then I'm also a producer and player for the Lore Brewery. We're going to drop a new episode this Sunday of our fairy tale game, Far, Far Away, which is a 5e adventure. where we take fairy tales that you know, some maybe you don't, and make them very weird and even as dark as they are actually written to be. Yeah, so I think that's it for me. And then I'll be back in a week to finally see Hannar's home.
Yay!
So excited.
Ooh.
All right, I'm Michelle, and you can find me on the only social I'm on right now is Twitter. You can find me at Mashulu, and you can also listen to me on the 12-Sided Stories podcast. Pick a series, any series. We just passed 200 episodes, so yeah, and Otherworld Seattle second season is coming out soon, and
Nice.
it's really, really exciting.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. Once again, I am Kadave, and I get to spend the week thinking up the horrible family dynamics that Hannar left about, so that I can send them to Kimi and we can figure out how that's going to work. It's summertime finally, so I'm hoping to get back to streaming because I'm not constantly driving my children everywhere. So I have been playing Diablo, but I will likely get back to Dave the Diver because I still haven't beat that yet. I want to.
Awesome. And I am Kimi. I've been your Loremaster for this game. You can find me at Golden Lasso Girl on lots of socials. You can also find the games that I design at goldenlassogames.com. That's Decima and Virgins and Vixens and a bunch of other ones. You can also find me at Happy Jacks RPG everywhere because that's also me. So yeah, lots of things. Please make sure if you haven't done it yet, you go to happyjacks.org/survey. We do have a survey out to the end of June that your feedback can be incredibly helpful to us to make our product and make our shows better. So please do that if you haven't done that. If you're listening to this in the future, June 2023. So don't go there if it's after the end of that date. So, okay. Yeah, thank you so much. And we will see you next week. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.